Welcome back to Nico's Garage. Well, today we have a good one for you. I took my car to a tire shop to get a flat fixed, and next day going to use my car, completely flat. Checked it out, and it looks like there was never a plug put in. They took the bolt out, but they never put a plug in. Unless the plug flew away, I really don't see it. But anyway, here's how you fix a flat tire with $6 at O'Reilly's or AutoZone, and tools and plugs. Really easy to do. I will show you in this
First thing
video.
we're going to do is we're going to jack it up from the control arm. I think that's what it's called. And we're going to lift up the tire. So as we're going to go here, as you can see, tire smoothly will rise off the ground. Make sure, of course, you have your handbrakes on so your tires are not moving, and make sure your tire is off the ground. All right.
First things first, you have to make sure of where the hole is on your tire. At this point, I have a mark that marks it at this position right here. It is very important that you cannot fix a puncture that's on the sidewall. It needs to be inside the thread area. So you have to make sure that it's in this thread area. If it passes the end of the thread anywhere in this side all the way to the tire, it is not repairable. You will have to replace the tire. As mine is right here, then I can easily repair it with this repair kit that I'm going to show you. For this, we're going to need to take the nuts off the wheel, and on this one I have a lock nut. So I've used a specialty lock nut that came from Subaru that unlocks the lock nut. It's a 19 millimeter, and we're going to use our trusty Harbor Freight Special, really cheap impact gun. Let's try to get in here. First bolt is out. And now we're going to use the 19-inch here. Make sure you hold your tire when you do the last one so you don't scratch your rim. And we've now removed the tire. Alright, so here I bought the tubeless tire repair. It comes with the probing piece and the split eye insertion needle so you can insert the plugs. Now we're gonna open it up and see how it's done. So here I'm gonna try and remove the plug. It's super sticky, as you can see. So you have to split the two plastic pieces off one of these. So we're gonna remove it here. Let's see how hard this is. So this stickiness is what makes it seal the hole. Now this plug here, you need to thread it through the hole. So you try the best you can to slide it through. It's going to be really hard because it's super sticky. Here we use the probing rasp to make the hole bigger to be able to put the plug in. So we push down on it. It's really hard. And now that you've done all the work, you need to leave it in until you're ready to put in the plug in. Very important, you can't forget to have your tire inflated for this. It has to be fully inflated, so when you push it in, you're not pushing the tire onto the rim. Alright, so now you put it really close to where the hole is, you pull the old one out, and you plug in. And now you have to cut it with straight cutters. All right, now we're going to remove the leftover material. So we're going to use, normally you use straight cutters, but I don't have any. I don't know what I did with them. So we're going to use a straight blade. And you just want to go, let's turn this around a little bit. You want to go straight across the thread. You don't want to cut any thread, and you don't want to cut, you don't want to pull on it. And as you can see now, it's nice and straight on the thread. Our next step here is to test to make sure that there's no leak. So get any soapy substance. At this point I'm using a method all-purpose because that's what we use at home, and we're going to test if it leaks. And as you can see, it's not bubbling up. If it was bubbling up, you would see big bubbles coming out of it. I will show you examples of what the bubbles look like when it does leak. Step is to put the tire back on the hub. We go backwards on this. You want to line your nut and insert a nut. Make sure that when you put your nuts back, they're put in by hand. You don't want to be cross-threading, or else it will cost you a lot more. You're going to have to change the whole hub. All right, we're going to go through this procedure, and then we're going to follow the torque specs for the Subaru Crosstrek 2015, which is 90 pounds of pressure. And I'm going to use my trusty torque wrench to do this. So let's do it. So here we're going to use now, after we've hand tightened a little bit the bolts, we are going to make sure that we tie them down, but not too hard, because we want to torque them down. You don't want to use the impact wrench as your torque. So here we go, just that's it, just enough to always in a star pattern. And now we're going to use the torque wrench. All right, so the torque wrench, the way it works is you turn the torque wrench, you loosen up the bottom, and then you can spin the torque wrench, and as it spins, it goes from 0 to 9 and then back to 0, and now we just climbed a full 10. Now we are at 90, as you can see. Is set to 90. So that's 0 and 90. Now if I wanted 92, I would just turn it to 2 here. And that way we have 92 now. So for this vehicle it's 90, and this is the way we're going to use. Lower down the wheels, now that they're tight, we need to lower the vehicle so it can be on the ground. So we're not forcing either the handbrakes or the differentials in the back. So we're going to lower the vehicle. As you can see, now the wheel is on the floor. And now we're going to torque it down. So we start with the first one across until it clicks. Do it again to make sure. Now we start always a star shape. We tie. One more time. All right, now cross again. Again. Very good. And star again. And then this is my specialty screw that we talk about for people not to steal, which really you can buy a whole kit for $80 and still steal my wheels, but from Subaru. But it deters the main people, and that's how you replace a tire. Well, please like below on the film. I hope you learned something by fixing your own tires. That way you don't have to pay somebody $30 and the plug flies away. Or they forgot to put the plug in. So right now I'm fixing it myself, or I would have went back to the store, because tomorrow I have to go to work. So I have no choice to fix it myself. So now we need to put the right pressure in the tires. At this point, you can see that inside your driver's side door well, you have a little sticker here from the manufacturer telling you that it's 33 pounds for the front and 32 pounds in the back. So this is where we're going to set up our tire pump to pump properly the right air in the tires. As you can see here, I have a Cobalt air pressure, and what's nice about this one, I'm going to put in the link below, is that it has a built-in pressure gauge. You can remove the pressure gauge, but you can also use it and set up what pressure you want on your tires and turn it on, and it will stop when it's done. So at this point, we're going to plug it into my vehicle here, and we're going to see what happens. So as you can see, this is a pretty straightforward pump. Has a cable here that plugs in. Let's remove it. As you can see, I have the actual DPMS tire pressure sensors in this vehicle. All right, and now it says that there's 28 pounds. As I told you, you have to have the tire inflated before you put the plug in. So now, as we can see, we have 28 pounds. We are going to set it up to 33. Now I have learned with this that it always stops about a pound lower. So what we're gonna do is, I'm supposed to have 32 in the back. I'm gonna set it up to 33, and then you just So as you can see, I was set up to 33, and it stopped at 33, but it dropped down to 32. And that's what we want. And this is how you fill your tires. I'll make sure to have this in the description. The torque wrench that I used, the plugs that I used to fix the tire, and every other tool that I've used, including the security bolt that I bought at Subaru, if anybody needs it for his Subaru. Of course, when you're done all this, make sure that you put the cover back on. It protects dirt not going into your valve and then not sealing properly and having a leak from it. Well, you guys have a good one. Hope you guys learned something. Please subscribe below. I'm going to be doing a lot of things with this Subaru. I'm going to be putting a front bumper protector. I will be putting skid plates on the bottom in the future, and I am also going to be putting new brakes in the rear in the next year. So I'm hoping you follow me with those. Thank you, and you have a good night.